Hello there, Pop Girlies Nation. You're here for another episode.
Hello.
We want to welcome you
We'd
to
like
this
we'd
episode.
like to welcome you.
Yes.
So this is
Uh,
our post Grammys show. The Grammys were last
Yes.
night as of
yep.
recording.
hmm
Maria, your girl won 2 awards.
Paws are up.
Yes. Paws are up. Feeling
Becomes one of
great.
only 4 people to have won Best Pop Vocal Album twice and the first person to win every pop category.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was a huge night. I mean, Drew and I were talking a ton about the Grammys like the week leading up to it, and I was like, as a little monster, like I'm not too worried. I knew Mother was not going home empty-handed. So that's all that mattered to me.
And you got a performance. That's like pretty rare. I feel like all the main pop girls aren't really doing performances at the Grammys these days.
Yeah, and that's the first time she's done like a pop-centric performance since like Born This Way era. Everything
Yeah.
since then at the Grammys has been either um, jazz standard,
Appetizing young love for style.
appetizing young love for sale, or just like piano moments, or just like acoustic slow versions of
Yeah.
whatever. Um, which are all great, but I mean that Abracadabra performance was
It was tea.
so good.
That hat.
The hat was amazing. Like, and
I
everything
mean,
she wore was like
it
archival.
has nothing on the hat that I love from Gagachella.
Oh yeah,
Right.
the
That little fuck
feather.
ass hat.
Yeah, the feather
Nothing on that.
hat.
But it's a strong number two.
Yeah, it was good.
Yes, I loved the performance, and of course, like Mayhem or just like Gaga in general, AOTY would have been a dream. But I think the Bad Bunny win is like definitely deserved and super, super awesome.
Yeah.
So super, super cool.
And like especially with
But yeah,
everything happening right now in the
Oh
country
yeah.
with how just
yeah.
disgusting ICE is and just the horrific treatment that immigrants are being put through. I think like that was really powerful that
Oh my
Oh,
god,
he
it was
got
absolutely.
it.
such a moment,
And
yeah.
then he gets another moment this
Oh
weekend
yeah.
with the halftime
Yeah.
show. I think he's gonna be so good.
I do too. I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
gonna be
gonna be
so
like one
cool.
for the books.
I do too, especially just because like so much has like been built up to it because brain dead conservatives have been stupid. Did you guys
Yep.
see that they're doing Turning Point USA is hosting their like America halftime show as like an alternative?
Oh my
Oh
God,
my
no.
gosh,
That Kid
no.
Yuck.
Rock is headlining.
Oh, well,
Not a
no one will watch
surprise.
that.
In what universe is the conservative equivalent to Bad Bunny Kid Rock? They're not on the same stature, ho.
He's all they've
Yeah.
got.
Oh
Like
gosh,
it's
that's so
embarrassing. It's
lame.
So
embarrassing.
yucky. But yeah, no, I am so excited to see his Super Bowl performance. He is just like so charismatic and just like seems so like full of joy all the
Yeah,
time. Like he just seems like such a powerful, like has such a powerful stage presence, and I think his performance is going to be so cool.
yeah,
And he
I
looked so fine last
yeah.
night.
Oh my
That
gosh, are you kidding?
Scaparelli.
The Schiaparelli, that did you see the thing that the last 3 album of the year winners have all been wearing custom
Yep.
Schiaparelli?
Oh my gosh, no, I didn't realize that. That's
That
Yeah,
hilarious.
was so good. I think he's the only
I love
man
that.
to wear Scaparelli. Like
Legend.
I want to say that I don't think any men have, especially not like on an award show like that.
well, there's no gender norms in the Bad Bunny world.
Right.
He loves all the
Period.
pronouns. Period.
Period.
Well,
Upset.
anybody else have anything else? Oh, Addison Rae, you're a pop
Addison Rae's
star.
so good.
Addison Rae, incredible. I don't like, okay, let me get my little soapbox. I'm not really into this like Twitter beef that has started like over the last like 24 hours with like gay guys like calling for like the death of Olivia Dean and like calling her like a trad wife and like,
Oh, I haven't seen that.
oh my God,
Yeah.
Drew, I've seen
Oh.
crazy white gay guys like losing their mind.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
like, okay, we can like not do that actually.
Yeah, no. No, like, yeah.
Like Olivia
None of
Dean is
that.
objectively a very talented
Oh
artist
yeah.
and she's smashing, right? Like it's like I'm saying this is a huge Addison fan. There was no world that Addison Rae was walking away with that Grammy. Like the win was getting to be nominated and to have a performance, and her performance was amazing. She's so, so good. And I don't know, I'm just so not into people bashing on
No.
somebody just for, and
No.
it's like also like bro, like I don't know.
Of
I
all
think
people to bash on, like that's who you're gonna be mad at.
yeah,
Like, come on, you
it's like
guys.
what about this music is making you mad? This music, there's like nothing to be mad at.
It's so ridiculous. I think people are just reaching, especially the culture of like stan pop Twitter is like people just want someone to hate on and someone to be mad at, which is like we've talked at like ad nauseum about how Gracie Abrams is often the subject of just like the complete, like just like the unfounded hate. And it's like it's just like a meme, like, oh, if there's someone to hate on, like we're gonna hate on Gracie Abrams. And obviously like Tate McRae gets that kind of same similar treatment. But it's like what are we doing? Sometimes I think the rhetoric of like, oh, we're just being silly and whatever on Stan Twitter gets taken way too far.
Agreed.
I
Way
Agreed.
agree.
too far. Like there's jokes and then there's like creating harmful rhetoric. So I think people need to slow their roll just a little
And I
bit.
need to be held accountable because I have laughed at a lot of those Tate McRae tweets. So, I'm not immune to hate virus,
Right. Yeah.
but some of them are so funny. So they get Tate McRae, something about her like inspires creativity in like people in a way that I just find so delectable.
Like there have been new ways of insulting people that have not existed before Tate McRae.
Also, like Morgan Wallen sympathizer,
Well, that's a whole other
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
so
She asked for it. If you have gay fans and you go and do that bullshit.
yeah, if you're trying to be Britney and then you collaborate with Morgan Wallen,
But like obviously like no one deserves like no one really truly deserves like hate online, but like
Yeah.
Donald Trump does.
well yeah, JK.
Time
JK
and
though.
place.
I said
Hate to
JK
him
though.
now.
Time and place.
Uh, Ho, he's the biggest chop ho alive. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Shall we get into our hot tracks?
Well, yes.
Maria, why don't you go first?
Oh my gosh, gladly. So I feel like I kind of had a lot to choose from over like the weekend of what I could have had my hot track be. But I definitely went with this one. It was a new song I had heard for the first time over the weekend, and it's because I went to go see Marty Supreme, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was a really neat movie. And the score to it was super cool and it was really wacky and all over the place. Like it had like really lavish orchestral moments, but there was also just like some kooky ones in there. Like it was just like really intriguing. Like I found the whole soundtrack to be really intriguing. And something that I also really liked about the movie was that, it was like very obviously set in the 50s, but I like when the soundtrack to a film kind of just like removes itself from the time period. Like in this case, it's like Marty Supreme takes place in the 50s, but like almost every song that's on the soundtrack that isn't the original score is just like new wave songs from the 80s, which is like one of my favorite genres to operate in. So I just found that to be so cool about the film. And the song that is my hot track was a song that started playing, and I thought it was from the score because it's like mostly an instrumental-ish track. And literally when it started playing, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I literally started smiling like ear to ear because I was like, this is so cool. And it was so cool in the movie. But it's the song called The Order of Death by Public Image Limited, which I was like looking into it after I figured out which song it was from the movie. And this is a band that was formed by Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols, like after the Sex
Mm.
Pistols disbanded, which I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't know this. That feels like innate knowledge that like anyone who knows anything about music from this these couple decades would know. But I was like, wow, I'm surprised I didn't know that. And I'm also was surprised that I was surprised that my dad didn't tell me about it at some point in my life. Because we always talk about this kind of music. Like it's something that we've bonded over for like a big chunk of my life is like 80s new wave music. So yeah, I thought the song was so cool. Again, I was like literally smiling ear to ear when it played the movie because I was like thought it was so cool. It was such a cool addition to the movie. and I never heard it before. And I've gotten into a couple other of their songs too after seeing the movie. So that's my hot track. So yeah, I thought it was so cool. I was like literally geeking out over it, like during the movie and afterwards. So
Love.
yeah.
Well, Drew, how are you gonna follow that hoe?
Yeah, I don't know. Um, I was having the hardest time choosing my hot track. I honestly, on the high of last week's episode, I have still been listening to a lot of Ellie Goulding. Um, but I'm not gonna do her for my hot track because I feel like that'd just be a little too much. But someone else I kind of came around to in during the week of last week. Um, on my commute to work. I forgot how much I love this album, but I love SOS by SZA. And I got really into it again. I love the song Far, which is I'm gonna choose as my hot track. I just think it's such a beautiful song, and yeah, that's just what I'm gonna go with.
Amazing.
SZA's amazing.
Love.
Grammy winner.
Yes.
ROTY.
ROTY ho.
Yes.
Cher giving that award out
Legendary.
was so crazy. That's what it's like to have a conversation with Eric, by the way. That's what it is. When you're like left alone with him for 5 minutes, that's what it's like. He starts talking about old stuff, doesn't know what he's doing. Um, Friend of the pod. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go. I've been listening to a lot of different music, just a lot of playlists this week. I'm going to go with a song that Drew and I love. This is like the best guilty pleasure song. Stars Are Blind by Paris Hilton. One of the perfect pop songs of the 21st century. It is a perfect pop song, even though the gods are crazy, even though the stars are blind. Drew and I found out like we like fell in love with that song because of it's in an amazing sequence in the movie Promising Young Woman, which we both love.
Greatest film ever made.
And that song is so good. Maria, do you know
Yeah.
that song?
Well, yes.
Oh, are you Miss Hater or are you Miss
Have you
Lover?
seen Promising
No,
Young Woman?
I'm smiling because it's a good song.
Good, good.
Have you seen that movie, Maria?
No, I still haven't seen it.
Oh,
It's in an amazing, it's like used in an amazing scene in it.
yeah,
Which like to
yeah.
me like always like makes the song even better when it's
You
like used in the
must see
film
that
so
movie.
well. Well,
Well,
yeah, because
yes.
we need Maria Letterboxed to give the stamp.
Yeah.
Well, inquiring minds would like to know how many stars I'm going to give that film.
There's also something kind of like vaguely tropical about the song, and like it's
Oh,
very
totally.
summery. And it's been so effing cold that I have been listening to it and imagining that I'm warm. So, which I never do. I hate being hot, but it's that dire of a situation. So
Yeah, it's been
it's
horrible.
been bad. It's been Greta Thunberg needs to get her ass to work because this extreme winter is not what I signed up for when
Yeah,
I
it's been
became
really
alive.
rough.
Yeah. Well, that's my hot track.
Love.
Okay. I think Maria, it's your time to shine, ho.
Okay, guys. Okay, hosts. So, we're going to be talking today about an artist that we have not talked about before, new to the pod. But it is the third and self-titled album by Lianne La Havas. And this is like, for me, is one of those like undeniable, like, start to finish albums where like every song is just like kind of perfect and she's such an incredible vocalist and I like really just wanted to bring it to the pod because I'm like I really want to know what you guys have to say about it because I just think it's like overall a really really incredible and special record and it is just like amazing. And I just wanted to know what you guys thought of like the vocals and everything. So it's like that's really why I wanted to choose it. But every now and then I get into a loop of like it's maybe one of three albums that I just keep playing like over and over and over again. So like at the start of the year, just kind of like re-entered my rotation as it typically does. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this album is so good. And for Pop Girlies trivia fanatics, you might know that it has a cover of one of my favorite songs of all time on it. Which, if I'm being completely honest, I don't really remember if that's like how I even discovered her or how I even came across her music in general. It was definitely with this album, but I'm really not sure if I'm being totally honest. But we'll get there. We'll talk about it. So I'll start with some background about her, because she actually has like a just like an interesting like kind of like trivia riddled background. There's a lot of cool stuff that I was able to learn about her, and then we'll of course talk about the album a bit. But I'll get into this, and then as we always do, we'll each go around and give our individual takes and experiences with the album. So going into it, Lianne La Havas is the stage name of Leanne Charlotte Barnes. Her stage name is a phoneticization. Not sure if I'm saying that word right. But it's of her father's surname, which I thought was interesting. She is a British singer-songwriter, whose genres spanned like mainly soul, jazz fusion, and R&B. And she actually started her career singing background vocals. In 2010, she signed to Warner Brothers, and she actually spent 2 years developing her songwriting skills before releasing any music publicly. She had made her television debut in 2011 on Jules Holland on the BBC. And it also featured very famous folk singer Bon Iver. And soon after that TV debut, she would later go on to be his supporting act for his tour in 2011. Her debut album, Is Your Love Big Enough, came out in 2012. And in a live performance, she's actually supported Alicia Keys once. Also, very interesting fun fact. In early 2014, Prince played a gig in her living room in London, which is absolutely wild and crazy. More about Prince to come. She appears on Alt J's 2014 album, This Is All Yours, on the track Warm Foothills, which for my early 2010s alt rock listeners, you're all probably standing up and cheering at the mention of Alt J. I listened to like a ton of Alt J in middle school and high school, so that's why I mentioned that. In 2014, Prince releases his album Artificial Age, which heavily features Leanne throughout the entirety of the album, singing background vocals on a couple different songs. And she also performed with Prince on the episode of Saturday Night Live that was on November 1st, 2014, which is so cool. She releases Blood, her album in 2015, her second album. In 2016, she supports Coldplay on their European and Latin American legs of the Head Full of Dreams World Tour. And in 2022 is when she releases her self-titled album, which is what we're talking about today. And then after following a 5-year hiatus, last year in 2025, she released Disarray, which is an independently released single, which is also very good. So, getting a little bit more into the album that we're talking about today. It's her third studio album, and it was released on July 17th, 2022. Released after actually another 5-year hiatus before the one I just mentioned. It was written following a breakup with her partner, and the album was inspired by the life cycle of nature and its ability to thrive, go away, and come back stronger. It's actually a concept album with a song cycle that depicts the stages of relationship from early romance to demise. The album's musical style is inspired by a couple different artists, a couple of them being Joni Mitchell, Al Green, and Destiny's Child. This results in a predominantly neo-soul album with elements of jazz and folk. Upon the album's release, it was met with rave reviews from critics who praised the album's eclectic musical style and lyrical exploration. The album's theme, as I mentioned before, inspired by the life cycle of nature and plants. La Havas wanted the album to follow the journey of a seasonal flower, one that, quote, blooms, thrives, goes away, and comes back even stronger. A flower has to dry up and die in order to be reborn. You have to get to rock bottom. You have to get to the rock bottom to rebuild yourself, is what she said. The album lyrically also follows three vignettes. The first describes the early and joyous period of a new relationship. The second focuses on the demise of the relationship, whilst the third revolves around the enjoyment and loneliness of being independent. So, getting into just some of the critical scores here before we go into some of our thoughts. This has an 83 out of 100 on Metacritic, and Pitchfork gave it a 7.8 out of 10, which at the time of recording this, it's maybe been like 2 or 3 weeks since Pitchfork decided to put like most of their reviews behind paywalls. And word to the wise, you can still figure out what Pitchfork gave an album if you just go to its wiki page. If it like is like predominant enough to have a wiki page. So that has been helping me out as we've been like talking about albums, so I can just like find out what the score is because it should just be like readily available to anyone who wants to know it. So hopefully like that stays that way. But but yeah, word to the wise on Pitchfork scores. But yeah, that is all I've got about Lianne La Havas. But yeah, so excited for your guys' thoughts and opinions. I mean, I'm obviously am gonna be pretty biased. I think this is like an absolutely incredible record. But I feel like it's one of my kind of like rare albums where like the incredible vocals are like kind of the highlight of the album. So I feel like I'm not usually the one to present an album where it's like, oh my gosh, like here's someone who is like a vocalist. I feel like I'm probably more of the production leaning girly out of all of us. And I feel kind of unique being the one right now bringing like the like vocalist, like star power voice album to the table. So I am curious if that's like also resonating with you guys. So, so yeah, so excited for your guys' thoughts.
Aw, you're being so cute.
Ah,
Look at
thanks.
you.
Yeah, look at you.
You're being so cute. Leanne brings out something in you.
Oh, she's just that girl. I also have to say, she has such an endearing social media presence. Like her story, like I started following her on Instagram not too long ago, and her story will be like the tiniest dots at the top of the screen ever because she has like a billion things on her story. But it's literally like pretty pictures of flowers, like frames from movies that she thinks are cool, or like whatever. It's just like so eclectic and endearing, and she just seems so great. So yeah, like she just seems like everything.
Period.
Boop. Okay, well, let's have Levi go first.
Whoa! I feel like I'm
What?
never gonna go first. This is so exciting. Well, I have known of this album purely from like end of year album lists because this album came out in obviously 2020. 2020 was the year I was very invested in best of year list because that was folklore year. So I
Right.
trust me, there is not a list published in 2020 that I have not looked at to make sure that folklore was present. You can rest assured. And so I recognized this album cover. I didn't listen to it. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on the cover. I I really like the grainy quality of the image. I like that it's black and white. I think it's a very striking image. I think it's very like memorable. It's a little like quirky girl, like, oh my gosh, I'm so crazy and random. I'm putting my hair in front of my face. Like I'm being so crazy. It's in a way that I feel like is not necessarily in sync with like the character and feel of the album. Like I think it's interesting that she's smiling on this record. Um and I understand that like, I loved hearing about the flower. I didn't know that. So that was really cool to hear and like the way that like the kind of journey that she saw the album. I guess this is just like sonically, I think at least. This doesn't feel like a smiling album to me. So it's not my favorite
I don't
cover.
love it either.
You don't love it?
No. I I like the I think it was mostly execution for me. Like I'm not as bothered that she's smiling on it. Like I think it's kind of cool for like a self-titled to like I think the concept of her doing something with her hair and smiling whatever. I think that is fine. My issue with it is it feels like a 2014 Instagram post. It doesn't seem like it was taken
Mm.
with like a professional camera. I don't love that. And I don't like I think she could have I mean it literally looks like she's taking it like with her phone.
Oh yeah, I mean without a doubt.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I want something I see for me I don't find it very striking. I think that's the problem for me.
Oh, you don't find it striking.
No.
I definitely do think it's striking. I mean, clearly because I remembered it. This is the only reason I didn't remember the name of her, Miss Leanne, but I didn't. It was the image that I remembered.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't. That was my problem with it. I think it could have been like an iconic kind of thing, but I didn't find it striking.
Maria, what do you think about the cover?
Well, I feel like this is usually the kind of album cover that I actually wouldn't really like or resonate with all that much. Because like for the things that Drew said of like, it kind of just reads like selfie, you know. Um, it's interesting because like she started releasing singles before COVID, but it was also like late February when like the first single
Mm.
for this album came out, like late February 2020. So I do genuinely wonder if there was like potentially a plan for like a professional album cover that then would have had to have fallen through because of the pandemic. But I do actually really appreciate like as you guys had already mentioned, like a self-titled album with just kind of like a raw photo of the person. And I feel like, I've already said this word probably like 15 times, but like I do find this photo like really endearing. And I actually do kind of get smiley from this album, even though it does have its like, kind of like that second vignette, like I mentioned, like the demise of the relationship. Um, but I feel like the like acts one and three like overtake the middle and for me kind of make this resonate more so as like a very joyous album. So I feel like just kind of like the unfiltered like raw black and white image of her actually makes the lyrical content mesh really well with the image in my eyes. And I just think it's like a really sweet cover. And it's very memorable, like you said, Levi. So I kind of feel like if anyone else had done this kind of cover or like attempted this kind of cover, it probably would have been like cheesy, hokey pokey. But I think because of like this allure that she has, I think it just works for her. And I think it works really well for this album in particular, with it being like this kind of more like raw, unfiltered concept of like relationship, like life cycle. So that's like that's my take on it.
Well, you're Miss Leanne Scholar, so that's the official
Hmm.
take. So, okay, my thoughts on the album. This is interesting. I was, very interested to hear what this was going to be like. I saw the label of what the genre is on Apple Music. The label is R&B soul. Um, the Wikipedia page lists folk, neo soul, and jazz as the genres. And so, this is like a musical world that I don't visit that often. It's just not, on a sonic level, not the kind of like melodies that tend to really stick for me. So I thought it would be like, cool to hear what's happening over here in a place I don't really visit that often. And yeah, I had an interesting album. I had an interesting experience with this record. I think the standout for me, which this is funny that with what you said, Maria, because I thought the production was my big standout. There were
Okay.
guitar tones on here that I thought were so gorgeous and like maybe I was swayed because it was kind of gloomy outside when I was listening to the record, but it sounded like what a storm looks like to me. It
Oh.
looked like dark gray fluffy clouds kind of in the distance. That's like what it felt like. I think especially, you start off with bittersweet and like it has that kind of like beat moment that like the dude like get you in. And yeah, there's like this like it's like there's a darkness to me in the instrumentation without like any kind of like ominous or like scary quality. Like it's gloomy, but like in a sweet way, which I think is a really interesting mesh. It was interesting, reading a bit more about the record and like about the different inspirations and influences that you listed, Maria. I can like kind of hear bits and pieces of that. I mean, I think any Pop Girlies listener knows I'm a huge Joni person, and I hear Joni in this for sure. I thought the Destiny's Child was a funny like little like reference. And I'm guessing her Destiny's Child song is "Please Don't Make Me Cry." That feels like the Destiny's Child song. So yeah, I think and then you have Radiohead. I mean, you have Weird Fishes as a cover, which I
Mhm.
loved. I loved the way that that was like reworked to fit her world. And I thought that it's funny, because it's the cover, but to me, that's like the centerpiece of the album. Like I kind of feel like the album exists like before that and like after that. And when I was listening to the record for the first time, it felt like those first songs were like building to Weird Fishes. There's just this like kind of dramatic heft that song has that I feel like is this really like lovely peak climax. And then we kind of are like going off of that. I think the moments that I gravitate towards the most on this record are the moments that are more up tempo, which is funny because I'm normally ballad ho. But I really enjoy the moments where there's like more energy in the songs. I think her voice is its best when she's kind of belting and when she's going at it more and when she's in kind of like an upper, higher, like chest voice. I think like the chorus of Bittersweet to me was a huge vocal highlight. I was like, oh wow, like this girl, she can sing, Miss La Havas. Miss La Havas has the vocals. I'm not particularly a fan of some of the vocal choices, I would say, in the more slower moments of the record and in the like lower region of her voice. Maria, I know that you've talked before about how like certain vibratos can like scratch you the wrong way. Like you brought up Florence before in that way. There's like sometimes she has this like quality to her vibrato that just doesn't sound good to you.
Mhm.
Lianne has like my version of that. There's this like quality that she has in her vibrato when she's using more of a breathier tone when she's not really belting and when it is more of like a casual kind of a vibe that like just doesn't really mesh well with my ears. And that's no pass on her technique or her ability. It's just not necessarily something that like sounds great in Levi ears, but what the fuck do I know? I think I also struggled with the pacing here, and I'm wondering if maybe I just need more listens to it. I've listened a few times, but I'm wondering if I just need more time with it, especially since this is a musical world that I'm less familiar with. But there was a bit of like a languid feel and just very slow. And I think that's why when there were moments that picked up, I'm thinking like bittersweet. I'm thinking, please don't make me cry. Like those were moments where I was like, oh, okay, like I'm back. I'm here again. Um, I did like the lyrical content. I like the kind of dreamy quality that she brought to the table. I think it really matches the vibe of her voice and the vibe of the production. There is this kind of like dreamy, hazy quality to this music. So overall, I'm really happy that I listened to it. That I finally know what this Lianne La Havas tea is all about. Um, I think that this is something that I would just need more time with in order to like latch onto stuff. There's, songs that I like here. There's some that like don't really do a lot for me. Uh, I don't see this being something that I go back to a lot, but also who knows? Maybe t people change and thoughts evolve and opinions evolve. I think that she's incredibly talented, and I think that she has a very distinct sound and a very distinct vibe. I just don't know if it's necessarily like a vibe that like personally is really ticking boxes for me. But when I was listening to it, I was like, oh my God, I can totally see why Maria is into this. Like it just makes so much sense. I feel like it's scratches a part of your like taste circle that's like in our Venn part of the Venn diagram that's like not overlapping between the two of us. Because I think that we have a lot of overlap, but I think that this is a sound that's just in your circle. You know what I mean?
Sure, totally.
Um, but I'm happy that, that we get to talk. I mean, I love learning about new things. I love knowing what the kids are up to. So yeah, I'm excited to hear what you got your guys's me's and Holy Trinities are, because I kind of have no idea. I have a feeling Maria would is going to include weird fishes. I would be shocked if she didn't. But other than that, I don't really know what we're going to be doing. So that's my Leanne tea.
Love. Well, thank you for spilling.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, Drew, would you like to go?
Sure. Um, yeah, so I was unfamiliar with Miss La Havas and her tea. Um, yeah, I wish I would have done a little bit more research before going in because I truly didn't know, um, the whole, like flower kind of thing. I think that's really interesting. And that's like, I love like lore to grip onto, and that was something that like I would have loved to. So that's like I'm kind of bummed that I didn't do that. But yeah, so I really like her voice as well. I was kind of struggling in the same way that Levi was. I also didn't really find I didn't really find this album to be very acrobatic in a way that I was kind of expecting. I was kind of because I know that you had said that how much you love her voice, so I was kind of thinking like, oh, she's going to be doing some like amazing riffs, and then when I kind of got this jazzy vibe from it, I was like, okay, well, I'm seated, like I'm ready for her to kind of go off. And I didn't really feel that until the end, really. Like, Sour Flower, to me, I feel like she really, gave it. I can definitely see why she chose that as the closer, because it was truly like the vocal highlight of the whole project to me. Um, yeah, I think kind of going off of that, the whole like flower thing, I think I was craving a little bit of like, a little bit more of like an identity. Like I love like all of the visuals that are currently on her. It's the visual that I chose for my background. I love like I feel like a lot of like these visuals or like something like that for to grip onto would have been really really cool. And I don't know, maybe I was just missing out. But I was kind of hoping for, especially being like a self-titled, I think I was expecting a little bit more of like an identity in the lyrics. But on that, I also really liked the jazz production on here. I would love to see like her perform this front to back, like in a setting. Like I think that would be really really cool, and I feel like it would make me fall in love with her in a way that maybe I didn't from just listening to the album front to back, um especially because I feel like there's a lot on here um that feels a little bit improv-y. I mean, and I guess that's like part of the genre, I'm sure. um but yeah, I would be interested to see like what a live show would be like with her, or even like I feel like she would have an amazing like tiny desk. Like I feel like I don't know, I wanted more personality from it. It did feel a little bit like, okay, but Leanne, who are you, Like I want to I want to know. Um,
It's funny you mentioned. Oh, I'm sorry, Drew.
no, 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 no.
I just wanted to add, it's funny you mentioned Tiny Desk because she did one in 2020 in support of this album, but it was of course one of like the at home Tiny Desks.
Yeah.
And then she did one I think in like 2016, and it's like low-key one of the most popular Tiny Desks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, look at that. Yeah, I mean,
So it's
like
like
that. It just so
you're
seems like
connecting
her
the
tea.
you're connecting the dots,
Like,
which is awesome.
I like. I know she's obviously way bigger than this setting, and like, I don't mean to say this in an insulting way, but I would love to like on a crisp fall day, like walk up to Archie's at Loyola and like watch her sing the whole album front to back. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like that vibe.
Like like a cafe performance kind of
Yeah, or
vibe.
like some, but like at night,
Right. No,
right?
I'm seeing the vision. That sounds very like
Like
romantic
it
and
just feels
dreamy.
like that vibe, and I feel like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and I also, unfortunately, like I do think that the songs, a lot of them are way too long. That was the trouble that I was having because a song like it would be one of those moments where a song would get me in, particularly in the beginning. Like I know the second half, the songs are longer, but in the beginning, you know, there were like those three that are like over 4 minutes each. And I was kind of, and then Paper Thin is also like almost 5 minutes. I was kind of like can we keep it going? I think that's what Lita was saying about like the pacing. I also felt that same sentiment, but I was really feeling it toward the beginning the most, which I think is detrimental to an album. If like the beginning, the front half is really really long, it feels very long. Um, but my favorite, I mean, I my favorite part of the album is the last half. I think it definitely brought me back into it. I think it's where her vocals are the strongest. But yeah, I would just I think my main takeaway is like I want to like see the the narrative. Like I want to see like I wish she wouldn't have gone with like a photo of her. Like I want to know the lore, you know? Um that's just kind of my takeaway cuz I love like grabbing onto something. Like I would have loved to like I'm sure she wrote like a beautiful poem about like her debut album or not her debut, her self-titled album being about a flower, but like I wanted to I kind of want the lore, you know?
Hmm.
So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Love. Well, thank you. So okay, so I'll go to round us out here. It's probably gonna be pretty obvious what I think. I mean, I think this is an incredible album. I mean like Levi said, you know, I resonate a little bit more with the songs that are more upbeat. You know, like that's just like super on brand for me in particular. Um, but I just think she has such a musical talent that you know, it's like we've mentioned, you know, previous genres that, you know, you could put her in the category of, but I think she is an artist that like what she's drawing inspiration from and the way that she's reinterpreting it into her own style of music is just like so much that it's like literally just like her own world, and it like literally for me honestly like surpasses genre. Like I think she has a very unique and personalized way of creating an output of music that is so unlike anything else. And it also, I think, just has like the stamp of like no one else could make music the way that like she's making music here. And I mean, for example, like the Radiohead cover here, like that is one of their like most iconic songs, you know, beyond like Creep and, you know, anything on OK Computer. Like that is, you know, like a huge, huge song for them. And a lot of people, myself included, like are really attached to that album. Like the sonic landscape that is that album is like very singular in their discography. Um, but I don't think anyone else on the planet could make a Weird Fishes cover in the way that she has made it on this album. And and I don't say this lightly because, like I've mentioned before, Weird Fishes is one of my favorite songs of all time. But this is a cover that is so in its own category that it like ch almost changes your relationship with the original song because the original artist could have never made the song that way. And it's like, wow. Like, thank God there's someone else on the planet who had a different perspective about what that song could have been and like actually had like the tools in their toolbox to actually make it happen and create it and put it into the world. Because, like, if you're a real music person, no, I'm kidding. Like doing like our Christina quote from a couple weeks ago. But it's just like, it's crazy that music like that can exist. And I feel like someone with her level of talent, like, it could only be her, you know? And it's also really interesting that she makes that song, which is, like so singular, like fit so well into her sonic landscape. So, like, I just have like all of the flowers to give to her, like no pun intended, for like the sonic landscape that she's able to create. I think it's so amazing. And I think Levi, what you said about like how some of this, like what her vocal style, like, like it's something that works so well for me, but it just doesn't for you. Like I think that makes complete sense because I am obsessed with her voice. I love the casual quality of it, like you mentioned. Like she's giving incredible vocals, but it also has that like casual, like breathiness to it that like makes it almost sound like you're in the same room with her. And like also the way that the album's produced makes it sound like very organic. Like it literally sounds like you're in this like super chic studio with everyone who's part of the album making process and you're like just observing it all happen. It has that very cool quality to it, which I love. But I've listened to this album so much. I definitely understand too what you're saying about like runtimes of songs. Like some of these get really long. Um, like this is an album for me that like runtime, like we're cooking, it's almost 50 minutes. I love that it's a long album. I love that I can press play at the start and have it on for almost a full hour. I love that about it. Um, but yeah, I think there's just like some really cool lyrics on here too. Like some of the things she's written here are just like really unique and sweet and endearing. Um, and I think the melodies on here are really infectious, like for me in particular. Um, like yeah, I don't know. I think this is just a really great album. I really love it. I mean, I probably wouldn't hesitate to say it's like one of my favorites, period. I am not someone who's like super like my brain doesn't work in the way where I can say like, oh, like I have my top five, top 10 albums like written out. Like my brain's just never worked that way. I could never tell you what my favorite song of all time is. I probably will never be able to tell you that. But at least like if I could put this in a manila folder in my brain of favorites of music in general, I think I would definitely put it in there. But yeah, I just think this is such a stellar album. I think it's amazing. And I'm kind of shaking in my boots because I still haven't even figured out what my least favorite or my top three are.
Well, ho, we're doing the episode.
Girl, that's like right now, girl.
I know it's about to happen, and I just
This is the beginning of the rest of your life.
I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard for me. I'll be able to trust me. I'll be able to figure it out. I still I don't know. I like Levi mentioned earlier, I'm like I kind of had a moment beforehand, like before we started recording where like do I include weird fishes because it's like so like oh my God, Maria, weird fishes, or do I not? I don't know. Like I feel like I'm still having like that internal battle of like should I include it or not? Because I also want like I want my top three to have space for like her original songs. So I don't know, it's kind of hard. But yeah, I think let's go. Let's get it started, and I'll figure it out. So we'll do our me's first, which are our least favorite songs, named after Miss Taylor Swift's "Me Hee Hee Hoo Hoo Hoo," worst song of all time.
Correct.
So we'll go in the same order. So we'll start first with Levi.
So my me is kind of interesting because there's a part of the song that I love, but I don't like the way that it was executed and paired with the top line. So I love the production on the song, and when it started, I was like, "Oh, I think this is going to be my girl," because I thought the guitars were so cool, but I really did not vibe with the way that the melody sat on top of the instrumentation. And it made me mad because I liked the instrumentation so much. So for that reason, my me is green papaya. I don't know
Got
if
you, got you.
I don't know if that's tea. I don't know if that's shocking. I don't know what the La Havas heads think. The Leanators.
Yes, I love that.
But that's my tea ho.
All right, sounds good. Drew.
Okay, my me, um, it was just a melody that I was really not a fan of. My me is seven times. Um,
I would like to note that Maria made more of a face after that than she did after mine.
uh, yeah, it just got so like repeat, 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 so repetitive for me.
Right. No, it's fine. No, it's totally fine.
No, it's totally fine. I'm not bad at all. No, I'm fine.
No, no.
Yeah,
No, I'm not gonna cry about it. No, guys,
yeah. Sorry about it.
Sorry about it. Okay. Okay, well, thank you, Drew. So my least favorite is actually going to be the same as Levi's.
whoa! Gag that!
Actually, it's Levi's, so it's green papaya. And I kind of do agree with you. But I really would say
Girl,
that,
it sounds like Miss La Havas has no negativity in Miss Marita's brain.
and I'm allowed to think that. I
No,
chose to
no,
ask
no. That's
him.
what I'm saying. I don't know if you do agree with Miss Levita up here.
Well, no, I mean, I don't disagree with what Levi has said because the vocals are really prevalent on top of the production and they don't really blend with this like, well, I mean, I won't say I mean it does blend because it's good, but I understand though the juxtaposition of this like really glossy smooth kind of like arpeggiated like acoustic guitar plucking and then her vocals are really really loud on top of it and the melody doesn't really mesh like organically the way that like the rest of the album does. So like I understand like why you say that.
And I think I was wanting like, and maybe this is a case of, me critiquing something for not being the thing I wanted versus the thing that it is. But when that introduction of those guitars came in, I really wanted to hear like some kind of soaring melody over it. Like I felt like that like had the foundation for that. And so the mellowness of the track just felt at odds with this like really dreamy, glossy. I love the word glossy, glossy, glossy production.
Love.
It's so glossy I can't even stand it.
I
But is
get
it glossy
You dip the green papaya in the glossy and it's just good.
this is good.
in the arpeggio?
Yeah. Who loves when we say arpeggio? Is it
No,
Melissa.
Messiah hates when we say arpeggio because
oh,
she
Oh, because she
doesn't know
doesn't know
what
what
it
it
is.
means.
She goes beef carpaccio.
yes.
When we get into our
Yes.
music theory bag and we lose everyone who listens because no one knows what it means.
Mama, we got to get out the scales. Do re mi fa sol la ti do.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I think those are all of our least favorites. So I think we can go to our Holy Trinities, our top three. So, Levi, you can start.
Okay. So my three is bittersweet. I think this is a very striking opener. I was kind of like when I listened to it for the first time, I really liked the do, do, like that like little opening thing. And then the verses go and I'm like, okay, we're here, we're vibing. And then I was surprised when she starts singing in the chorus. And I was like, oh, we're going over here now. I just thought like there's this like moodiness to that song that I thought was so interesting. And like I really liked the imagery of bittersweet summer rain, I'm born again. And like I like it when British people rhyme rain and again. Like I like it when they rhyme those sounds because Americans don't do that. And I think it's funny. And yeah, there's just this kind of like mystical, really natural quality to this song that I really enjoyed. And I think it's a very strong opener for what she's doing here. My two would be Please Don't Make Me Cry. Please Don't Make Me Cry. I needed a little bit of a banger. At this point in the album, I really did. I needed something to go do. And I thought Please Don't Make Me Cry was so striking. I think that chorus was great. I think her vocals were really great. It has my favorite lyric on the album, which is I show you my pretty scars, they make us whatever we are. I thought that was like a really beautiful lyric. And I hate to be that girl, but my one is Weird Fishes. And this is like what I did to PJ because I made the Tom York song on Stories from the Sea my number one.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Apparently, I love shading women when there's Radiohead involved. But
Tom
like
York of all people.
the weird fishes of it all, I really do stand by what I said about I feel like this is the centerpiece of the record. I feel like it just has that kind of weight to it. It feels like what the album is building up towards and then what it's building down from. I think that it's she obviously didn't write this, but I think lyrically this really fits within the vocabulary and vernacular that she's using. I think that what she does with the song is really interesting. It is like the same song, but also a complete transformation. Maria, I really love the observation you made about like you kind of being able to discover a song in a new way because an artist is covering it in a way that original artists would have never thought to have done. And like, I mean, that's what great music is. A great song should allow for like multiple interpretations. So yeah, I thought that like this is just the peak of the album from a vocal standpoint, from a production standpoint. This to me was the moment.
Love.
And that's my team.
Thank you so much. Okay, Drew.
Okay. My number three is Courage. I think it's a really good song. I think uh, after seven times, which was obviously my me, I was like brought back up pretty like instantly. Like I really enjoyed it. And then that kind of goes into my number two, which is Sour Flower. I think it's a great closer. I think this song is easily where her vocals are my favorite. Um, I definitely see what she put as the closer because she's really, really going for it. And yeah, I really liked it. I think also I would say one of the strongest melodies on the album as well. Um, and honestly, this would have been my number one. However, I feel like the outro was just a little long. Like, I remember being like, yes, she like nailed that song, and then looking down and there being like a minute and a half left, and like she wasn't really singing. Um, so that would probably be why it is my number two and not my number one. But my number one is Please Don't Make Me Cry. I mean, it's
Oh,
just such a lift off from um, Weird Fishes and the upper half. Yeah,
slay.
yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So I obviously figured it out. But I do think that this is probably an album that, depending on, you know, how we're at, a different time and place, maybe this could be a totally different top three. I think it's just one of those albums for me. But I am going to go in with my number three with Paper Thin. I love this one. I think the lyrics on this one are so like unique. I love it. I This one's so cool. My number two is Bittersweet. I think this is such an incredible album opener. I like I mean, it's just, and again, it's like one of the more upbeat moments. It is probably the most like maybe like sonically intense songs. Like it's like really, really powerful and intense at the start, and then the album kind of like appropriately like mellows out a little bit more and finds more of kind of just like a rhythmic life cycle. So I think it's a really cool way to start it. And I did decide to go with my number one for Weird Fishes. Um, I mean, it's interesting because like this is an incredible cover of one of my favorite songs ever. And I very much agree with what Levi said about it being like the centerpiece of the album. I totally think that's, what it's doing, like basically right at the center. I think it's like placed really great in the album. I love that it comes right after this like really beautiful interlude. Um, and and yeah, it's interesting though because like I definitely would have created like more of a relationship with this album because of it having like this incredible, amazing Weird Fishes cover on it. But after having listened to it a ton since, like that being kind of what had like was like my main draw to it, or like what pulled me to it rather. Like when I think of this album, my brain doesn't immediately go like, "Oh my God, it's got the Radiohead cover on it." Like I'm really thinking about like all of the other songs on it that make it really, really special and like have her like creative stamp on it. Um, and yeah, this one was just like a really hard one to choose the top three for me. Because yeah, I mean, I feel like I could have a billion runners up and I could talk about them for a while, but that's what I've currently landed on for my top three. But yeah.
I'm glad that you went with Weird Fishes. That I think was the right thing to do.
Yeah, I know I was going back and forth because I'm like we all like, we all know Weird Fishes and I don't like I was just having a moment where I was like, do I want like I was kind of like I kind of maybe want to only spotlight her original compositions here, but then I was like, no, I think this is too much of an impactful moment on the album to just like not include it. So,
Well, and also so like distinctly tailored to make you scream.
yes.
Yeah.
Like that would like be me like, listening to an album that has an incredible Madonna cover, but not going for it because I want to no. You got to be
Yeah.
true to you, Maria. That's how you a real pop girly. Pop girlies,
Right.
Okay.
we don't fake, we don't pretend. That is not what Pop Girlies Nation is about.
No. That's like if it would be like if a new Florence album came out and then she had a cover of Secret
And
by
I was
Madonna
like,
on it, and then you didn't
it's
include
okay. Oh, wait, I now fuck you. Now I need that.
it.
Imagine her doing the hums.
My baby's got a
That is
secret.
it.
That'd be a really good one for
Mm.
her, I think,
It
actually.
literally would.
Like reimagined into the Florence
Should I make a
world.
dream like Madonna tribute album with all of Pop Girlie's favorite artists?
Well, yes.
Yeah. When you said dream for a second, I thought you were gonna say like, should I try to like astral project in my dreams to like a universe where she's doing a cover of it?
Oh, astral project. I used that term the other day with my friends, my two of my friends, Alex Wishi and Luke. Alex Wishi, friend of the pod. And they looked at me like I was speaking in tongues, and they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then I like was like astral projecting. They're like, "You sound so crazy. Nobody knows what that is." Blah, 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 blah.
Girl, come on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, for real.
They made
That's
me feel cuckoo.
well, it's
Astral projecting is allowed in Pop Girlies Nation.
well, yes.
That's how we
Okay.
travel.
Well, now we're going to give our scores out of 10. We're opening our utensils drawer. So we're going to start first with Drew with his Drew fork rating.
Yeah, I was having a hard time with this one. Uh I'm gonna go with a 6.1.
Okay.
It wasn't like my full tea, but like it wasn't obviously like bad. It just like wasn't my full tea.
Marita,
Yes, ma'am.
Maria Spoon, scoop it up.
So Maria Spoon is going with a 9.4.
Tea girl.
Yeah.
You got to work overtime to get that average rating up from the
Yeah,
6.1.
girl.
This kind of sounds a lot like last week, but let's see what Levi gives it.
Oh, well, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Um, yeah, I think, I explained in my thoughts that this is just like personal biases. I mean, that's what we're here to talk about opinions. This is just not like a vibe that I'm inherently drawn to, and I have some quibbles with the construction of the album, but I also think that there's a lot that is really like beautiful here, and I think that this is something that could evolve over time. If I like, listen to this again in like 3 years, I could see myself having a really different relationship with it. And I think that there's enough inherent craft on the album uh to where I'm gonna go in at a 7.1.
See?
And so that gives us a average rating of 7.53.
Thank you, Pop
Maria, you're
Girlies.
doing like a monk bow.
I'm like, wow, like, all right. No, I mean I'm glad we got to talk about this album together.
I didn't
I
realize
mean,
how like big this was for you.
I truly did not realize this was like such a moment for you.
yeah, I mean I don't think
I feel honored that you like brought it to the table. Like when you were talking about it, I was like, holy fuck, like she
Loves this
is into
hoe.
this tea.
yeah. I mean I don't think I would have given it like a 10 perfect score, but like anecdotally, I do kind of think this is a perfect album.
Well, why wouldn't you give it a 10?
Like I
She doesn't really
like
do that the way that we do.
I
Well, the
know,
way that
like
I do.
I know I was like 9.4, like that's high, but like I don't even think you could say like you liked the cover. Not like it the cover was I'm just saying like you like really like you literally liked everything about it. Like
yeah.
you liked the
I
visuals,
mean the
you liked
thing is
every
though,
song.
like I don't know, it's hard because I try to I don't want to do my scores with like relying too heavily on like scores I've given in the past or like maybe philosophies that I've had about scoring albums in the past. But like do try to think of like bigger picture of like I feel like anything I've put in like the nines pretty comfortably could say like it's either critically and undeniably amazing album. Maybe it's not one of my favorites of all time,
Yeah.
i.e. like Blue, Joni Mitchell. But I think anything in the 9 to 10 is like, yeah, that's like pretty up there for me of like either it has like a strong personal impact or I have just like a really intense relationship with it, or maybe it's like a Gaga, like one of my favorite artists of all time
Yeah.
album. Or maybe it's like something that's a little bit more singular like this, where I'm like I'm just gonna put it somewhere in the nines because it's just like that girl. Like,
Yeah.
like it's just one of those girls for me. So
Yeah.
I feel like maybe my philosophy is like a little bit loosey-goosey of just like anything that's like kind of maybe it's like anecdotally perfect in my opinion. Like I'm just gonna slap it somewhere where I think it's comfortable in the nines.
That's fair.
So that maybe
What
that's
do
the
you like if this were like is there any reason why it like what's like the point six that it could have been? Or do you not like I think about it as like things to like subtract, but it sounds like you don't really think of it that way. Like you just kind of think like a range.
Yeah, I don't really think of like, oh, like this point six is like the quality of it that I don't like. I kind of just want to put it somewhere where I feel like it's
Yeah.
comfortable. But sometimes I even flip back and forth on that where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, like this is like I know specifically why I'm like maybe deducting like points from it. But But I don't know. Maybe it's also because like knowing like some of my favorite albums of all time like are Gaga albums,
Yeah.
and I've put them in a similar range, like maybe I would feel a little bit odd being like, here's kind of like this like singular album that like I kind of do think it's perfect, but like I don't know Leanne like that. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to
Totally.
be like, oh, here's a Leanne 10, and I haven't even given anything by Gaga 10.
Yeah.
So like there's also that. But like I feel like I'm a little bit more loosey-goosey with the scoring,
And
you know.
that's fair.
So, but I appreciate you asking me because,
Well,
you
no,
know,
because I was just curious. Because I mean, like, you literally, I literally think you loved everything about this.
yeah.
Uh, that's funny that you haven't given Gaga a 10 because I've only given Taylor 10s.
Well, yes.
So here for unbiased, objective. That Life of a Showgirl 10 though, you guys brought that on yourselves.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was not my doing. That
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
doing of the fiends and the ghouls that I was dealing with that weekend.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. I
know
see.
who you are.
I'm like such a fan of the nine range. I try to reserve tens though for like, I really like every song and I really like the visuals of the album.
See,
Yeah.
I normally don't. I would give an album a 10 if I thought it had an ugly cover. I probably have. Like that wouldn't be something that gets in the way of me.
No, that makes complete sense.
Yeah. That makes
Because,
sense. Yeah.
because as poet
See,
laureate
like,
Lady Gaga once said,
it's a
I just
mixed
love the
bag.
music, not the bling. You know,
Right. And the thing is, too, speaking of which, like maybe I would feel differently if we hadn't recorded Art Pop as one of the first episodes we ever recorded. Because I feel like I kind of shot myself in the foot. Because I think I gave it maybe like a 9.3.
you gave it a 9.5.
Oh, 9.5? Oh, I need to check the spreadsheet more often. Um,
Well,
but
there's a lot of little nuggets of wisdom and
yeah.
interesting tidbits
Because
here.
even I mean, even still though, like maybe if we had done Art Pop, like when we were like a little bit more into our groove,
Should
like
we just start over?
maybe I would have given it something higher.
I mean, I think it would maybe be interesting to do like a revisit of like an album like that that's like so, foundational,
Yeah.
fundamental. Except I would be scared to do folklore again because I know you've talked about how you would give it a lower score than what you gave it.
Wait, I said that?
Yeah, you said that.
What did I give it?
You gave it 9.3.
Okay.
So I would be love to do that for art pop. For folklore, I would need like an
We
affidavit
can't.
sign that you're not lowering that score. And if there's any even just hesitation, we're not doing it.
I mean, I don't think I would.
Because right now it's 9.76 is looking so pretty on my screen.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I think we should do 143 again.
Oh.
Are you sure? I don't know if that would go. Would Teenage Dream again?
Yeah.
Teenage Dream again. You make me
I think
feel like
143
I'm
does have the
living now.
lowest individual score.
It
Maria did
does.
give it a 4.3.
That is
Yeah, for 143, I was staying on theme with the album.
Get it?
you're not clocking that she's standing on business.
Yeah. I love the direct shade that just got thrown. With that, we should probably just go and wrap it up.
Well, we got to know what we're doing next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you hoes. You don't even know. You don't know. You don't know what's happening. You don't even know what's coming. And I'm honestly even laughing that you just are sitting there listening to Pop Girlies and you don't even know the incoming mother quake that is about to hit your eardrum. Your eardrums are going to burst because of how gagged they are with
I'm
what we're about to talk
screaming.
about. You
No,
guys
like
aren't you're going to flatline because you're just going to be so overwhelmed by Yas. What we are doing, we are going to a dance floor and we're making some confessions, ho. We are doing Confessions on a Dance Floor, Madonna's iconic 10th studio album. This is music, okay? So get into it.
I have no words.
I have chills.
I have full body chills. I'm so
We
excited.
get we get a Madonna Levi speech.
Yeah.
dissertation
Also,
this
we're
early into
doing
the year.
confessions the calendar year that we're getting confessions part two.
Well, that's the thing, our manifestation power. So we're gonna announce that we're doing confessions, Wednesday the 4th. And Queen Honey might just drop something.
I mean,
Madonna, I know you're a big listener, so, just keep us in mind. Give us a little heads up, maybe.
Yeah.
We can have like an exclusive drop.
We would also love pit tickets to the
Girl,
tour.
I would love, to be invited to the dance call.
Oh, tea.
But
please,
yeah, so excited to do confessions on a dance floor. I feel like that's like the last like huge Madonna moment that's like big for all three of us. Well, no, actually, no, that's not true because music. I would say music is big for all
Oh,
three of
yeah.
us. So never, I'm fucking idiot.
Whoa.
Never mind anything I say.
What was the last Madonna that we did? Oh, Madam X.
Madam X, the album that everyone loved, the album that got
Maria singled out again.
well, and you.
well,
I mean,
I feel like Drew's the Madam X warrior,
uh,
kinda.
you would think, but he gave it a 7.7.
That's
I
pretty
mean,
good.
I mean,
7.7?
yeah, but like that's not like a warrior isn't giving a
No, I wouldn't say I was a warrior, but I think one of us was in the 6 range.
Well, yes.
Drew, can you please give me like a little bit of a break?
I'm just saying, girl.
We're all just saying things, I
We
guess.
all got crowns.
Oh,
We well we and that's true. That's true. You're
Totally
totally
right.
right. And you're right about that. Okay, guys. Well, I gotta go eat some green papaya.
I gotta go fight away this love. Can't
Please
fight
don't
away
make me
this love.
cry.
Well, what if I want to? You're a weird
I
fish.
can't fight.
You're a weird fish. Okay.
All
Shanti.
right,
Bye, host.
bye.